Hey guys, it's Malachi. So today I am back filming a super exciting video. I'm about to go get my braces off and I'm super excited, so I'm going to be giving you a 101 on pretty much everything I think you should know before getting braces, my experience, and I am going to be showing you a before and after, so get excited because I know I am. By the time this has gone up, most of you guys have probably already seen what my teeth look like on either my Twitter, Instagram, or Snapchat account. But for those of you who want to know about the whole process, just keep on watching. Before you get braces, you're going to have to go to a consultation at an orthodontist office. I know a lot of people go to multiple orthodontist offices just to pick and choose between them, compare prices, look at before and after results just to see how their teeth will be. But I was the third child out of 3 in my family to get braces, so we already knew which orthodontist we'd be using and we knew that he did well, so we didn't really go through that. But if you're the first child, or that's just not your case and you're considering switching orthodontists, I would definitely recommend it because pretty much every single orthodontist you hear from is going to tell you that they do the best job and they're probably going to show you the results of their very best patients. So I think it's a really good idea to pick and choose and look around between different people, because some that do a better job may be a bit more expensive, but I know from personal experience that like the extra price will definitely be worth it with how your teeth look. There, the orthodontist will examine your teeth, they'll take pictures and do x-rays, and then they'll send the x-rays off to your insurance agent, I guess, person. So I know that my teeth didn't have any medical issues with them. I just really didn't like the way they looked, and I'll explain how they were later. But because there wouldn't have been any type of significant medical problem if I didn't get my braces fixed, the insurance agent didn't really give us any money. So if you decide you want braces and you need spacers, they will give them to you at that time. But I know my 12-year-old molars hadn't completely come in at that time, so they couldn't put a bracket around my back teeth. So they didn't give me spacers. I just came back around a month and a half later or so and they put on my braces. The process of getting them on did take a pretty long time. I'm going to say an hour and a half maybe for the whole thing. And it didn't hurt much at all being there, but it did hurt after. And I think part of the reason it hurt so little was because I took medicine before, and I would recommend doing that like 15 minutes before you leave your house or so, just so it'll set in by the time you get to the orthodontist and your teeth aren't going to hurt then. Everyone's pain tolerance is different, but I will be honest with you, everyone's like, oh, it doesn't hurt that bad. The next day to the next 2-3 days, my teeth probably hurt for about 3 days, is awful. When I woke up to eat breakfast the next morning, it was severe. I was like crying. I was eating toast that was toasted pretty lightly, covered in butter, very soft and jelly, like I'd eat every morning, and it felt like there were bricks punching into my mouth just because it's the first time your teeth have been in anything like that, and at the beginning they're like loosening them so then they can do what they want, push together, pull apart, twist, and straighten, so it was not that great. I will say though, after that first appointment, do not take any more medicine. One, because you'll become tolerant and you're going to have that happen to your teeth all the time for the next 1 to 2 to 3 years, depending on how long you have braces. And because some of the ingredients in things like Tylenol, ibuprofen, Advil, Aleve, etc. aren't good for your teeth during the orthodontic process, and it can slow it down. The whole time I had braces, I either got navy blue or silver, apart from one time when I got lime green, and let me just say, bad decision. But I just think those 2 colors are very simple and they don't draw a ton of attention to your mouth, so it worked out pretty well. This is what my teeth looked like prior to braces, and this is what they looked like after my first appointment. So not much changed within the first couple months of going to appointments, but then around June I got a power chain and I was so excited because it closed my gap completely within like a day, and that was one of my insecurities and like the biggest reason I got braces. That hurt a little bit, but it wasn't awful, and I only had to have a power chain on the top twice within my braces experience, and just after that first time my teeth did not move at all and my gap has remained closed for about a year now. Good dental hygiene is always important, but when you have braces, it's especially crucial that you take good care of your teeth because you don't want marks when you get them off. When you go to the orthodontist the first time, they're probably going to give you floss threaders, but honestly, I could not use string floss throughout my braces experience. It was just too difficult to pull it through, and it was really time consuming because you had to like thread it under wires, and it was just a lot. So I used a water pick, and I think this works really, really well. I have like the mini one, and it's just rechargeable, and you just fill it with water. Personally, I use like pretty warm water because cold water just does not feel good. And I use the skinnier tip just so it gets through everything. And I just hold it in my mouth at nighttime to rinse out like I'm flossing. Every once in a while I'll use it in the morning, but that doesn't really happen often. So this isn't a necessity, but I think it makes things a whole lot easier. And I also have an electric toothbrush. This is an Oral-B Triumph Professional Care Series 500, and it works really, really well. If there's one thing that I would recommend out of these two, I would definitely say the electric toothbrush. Whenever I go to camp or I go on trips, I can't take this with me just because it's like too much to like lug around or whatever. So I use a regular toothbrush, and just within the few days that I'm gone, I will legitimately notice a difference in the color of my teeth. So I think this cleans super, super well. So it doesn't necessarily have to be this one, but any electric toothbrush is definitely something that I would give a thumbs up to. I know some people's orthodontists recommend not using whitening toothpaste, but mine never said that. And personally, if you used it before, I would recommend continuing, or else your teeth are going to look really uneven. A good portion of the time that I had braces, I did have a lisp, and because it's just something that's happening all the time, I didn't really notice for most of the time that I had it. But after, when I like go back and watch old YouTube videos, I'm just like, wow. I'm surprised no one ever brought it up, but for like 6 or 7 months I had a pretty intense lisp, but no one really made fun of me. No one cares about braces. At least in my area, a lot of people have them, so it's not really a big deal, and no one will like tease you or anything like it happens in movies. Here's a little reference to how my teeth changed so far up to this point, but fast forward to October 2015, I got rubber bands. And it was the 8th of October, and I will remember that day forever because it was so awful. Everyone complains about like these tiny little rubber bands, or like the ones that stretch from your front tooth to the back. Those were not that bad, I'm telling you. The rubber bands are called Hawaiian Hawks, and the package is gold, and they were horrible. I'm gonna insert a picture of what my rubber band pattern looked like, but my teeth went from looking awful, like with the crossbite and it was a little over, to like biting down normally. So there was a lot of pulling to do, and the pattern looked like this. Along with those, at night I wore Stellar Sea Lion rubber bands, and the package is red, and that was just to bring my open bite forward because my top teeth didn't really go over my bottom ones. March of 2016 was when I first got enameloplasty, and that is when they shave down the edges to even out your teeth. And I believe they're going to be doing some more when I go to get them off, so I'll let you guys know. But my teeth are pretty even on the bottom now. That didn't hurt or anything, it was just kind of gross tasting because literal particles of your teeth will like fall into your mouth. But I'm serious, that made the biggest difference in how my teeth looked. Before they were kind of jagged on the bottom, but after they did that, they looked really smooth and professional, and they started to look complete. So at that point was when I kind of got obsessed with getting my braces off. I was just so done at that point. For a lot of the time that I had them, I kind of just forgot that they were there because I just got used to the feeling in my mouth. But after that point, I was like, I want them off. My friends are getting them off. I'm just done. From that point on, I started pretty much pestering my orthodontist about when I was getting them off. Always asking, wondering what more they had to do. It wasn't until May 26th at my last appointment that they told me that I would be getting them off next time. So I was so excited. Originally the plan was August 22nd, but that would be like a week into when school started and a day after my birthday, and I didn't want braces on my birthday. So my mom called them, and we were just hoping they could move it up like a couple days, maybe a week, but then they said they would move it up to July 19th, so I was like, okay. Then just last Monday they called and said they had an opening on June 27th at 8 a.m. and they knew the whole time I was pretty good about doing everything right, brushing my teeth, using my water pick, rubber bands. They were pretty confident that my teeth would look fine. So they said that they could squeeze me in, and I was so happy. I was just lit. So now I'm going to go have that done. I am so excited. I can't wait to see how my teeth look. So I'm gonna go get these removed. Do you guys notice anything slightly different? Maybe. So I am back. It is actually about 4 days after I got my braces off, but I just wanted to put on the same shirt for consistency's purpose, and I wanted to wait until I got my retainer and until my list from my retainer went away a little bit. Obviously it's still there, so hopefully you guys can just do your best to ignore it, because I'm probably gonna get used to it over time. I might not. We'll see. The process of them actually removing the braces from your teeth is so quick. It maybe takes 2 minutes, absolute tops. But then it's the cleaning and the polishing and the glue scraping that's gonna take a long time afterward. Within the actual process of debanding and getting rid of the actual wire and brackets, I only felt pain 4 times, and that was in my back 4 teeth. But it was only like a split second of pain, like they'd clench down, pull it off, and it would just be so quick that it wouldn't even bother me that much. And you're just so excited to get your braces off that you're probably not going to care that much. Please stop! Immediately when you get them off, the feeling on your teeth is going to be so weird. I mean, there's still a little glue there, so I don't know if you're like grossed out by that. You may not want to like put your tongue on it or anything, but I did, and it just felt so weird to have no braces. Like my mouth felt really empty. Right after that, the doctor came over and scraped off the glue, and that was probably the worst part. I felt like I was like clenched there, like unable to move, because I literally was. Like there was a sharp tooth right by my mouth and other areas where I bleed, so I just had to like stay still, and he just scraped it off, and that probably took a good like 5 or 6 minutes. It's gonna feel cold on your teeth, and at some point you're gonna feel like it's nails on a chalkboard, so I just try not to think about the sound the whole time. And also it's gonna smell really bad because it's glue that's been under your teeth for a really long time, flying everywhere, and like dust particles landing in your mouth, like by your nose. It's gonna smell pretty bad. When they polished my teeth, I got to go brush, and when I first looked in the mirror, and honestly for like the first day that I had my braces off, I thought my teeth looked giant and I hated them. I guess you're just so used to only seeing like half of your tooth, so that makes sense. But now I love them. I think they look awesome, and I pretty much thought that like after the first day. Polishing my teeth was seriously a breeze. That did not bother me. The last thing to do is take your impressions for your retainer, and I remember when I got them on, it wasn't that bad for some reason. But when I got them off, the bottom was fine, but when they did the top, it was like nearing the back of my throat. And at the end, when she pulled it out, like, okay, like viewer discretion advised, but like a large trail of saliva just like spilled out of my mouth and all over a napkin that they had put on me, and it was disgusting. But after that, you get to leave, and they gave me a big bag of candy that I couldn't eat because I'm allergic to nuts, and a lot of it had nuts, and then I don't eat dairy. Had dairy, but I was just still so pumped, so that didn't even really bother me. I know sometimes people come back later that day for their retainer, but I didn't come back until the next day. So your teeth do shift a tiny bit. Nothing you can visually see, but definitely little tiny amount. So when I got there to put it in, it was seriously so painful. I only have to wear this full time for about 3 weeks, and then I have a retainer check appointment, so they're gonna let me know what it is. I'm assuming it'll just be night after that, because that's what happened with both of my sisters, but you never know, so I'm just trying to wear this as best I can. So if there's any activity that you do that you think you may need to take your retainer out for, just consider the amount of time that you have to spend doing that, because if it's a lot, you're really not going to be as consistent with your retainer overall. You probably can't see it that well from the camera, which is pretty good, but in real life you can definitely tell, because at first it felt a little big, but it's like forming more and more to my teeth every day, so my lisp is getting a little bit better. Overall, I think having braces was an amazing experience. There were a few times when it sucked, like putting my retainer in or first getting rubber bands, like I told you guys, but overall it wasn't even that bad, and looking back on it and seeing my teeth now, I would honestly do it 2 times over for the same result. Braces are obviously a large investment for yourself if you're paying, or your parents, or whoever is funding the endeavor. So definitely make sure you wear your retainer and wear your rubber band, and just follow the directions that they generally give you, because it's not really fair to the person if you just ruin everything that they paid for. That's basically all I have for you guys today. If you want to see my no braces selfies, you can look on my Instagram account or my Twitter, and if you just want to stay updated with what's going on in general, you can view my story on Snapchat. So thank you all so much for watching. I really hope this was informative. If it was, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you have a different experience with braces, comment it down below, or just anything you want to talk about concerning this topic, because I think it's fun to start discussions in the comments. So, see you next time. Bye.